Hey guys, it's Bob, that Scottish drummer, and welcome into this advanced lesson on coordination. We're taking the simple concept and we're going to try and find some creative ways to expand this so that we're pushing ourselves to work on our coordination and independence. The goal is for our coordination to be at such a level where we never have to think about it. Let's say, for example, we're at a session or we're filling in for a gig where there was no rehearsal and we're handed a chart to read there on the spot. There might be some complex rhythms on this chart, but having worked at our coordination before, we're confident that we can read through this and our body's just going to handle whatever rhythms we throw at it. This ability to quickly grasp an idea, whether it's written down on a chart or being explained to you by a producer, is what makes you an advanced player. And this is what's going to help everything run more smoothly. People are going to enjoy it, it's going to be enjoyable for everyone, and hopefully you're going to get the gig again. So let's jump behind the kit and start looking at these advanced coordination exercises. Alright guys, so if you've seen my intermediate or even the beginner class that I've done on this, you'll be familiar with this pattern, which is kick, snare, snare, kick, snare, snare, kick, snare. And we mix that up. It's a group of 3, a 3 and a 2, and then we do variations on that. And we've done that in an 8th note feel, but now for the advanced class, how I originally felt it was in a 16th note feel. So we're going to look at that here. So I'm going to bump the tempo back to 110 BPM, and I'm going to run through exercise 1 here. And now we can add in a backbeat to that, which in the 16th feel is going to land on beats 2 and beats 4. And because this is the advanced class, we're not just going to keep it with 4 limbs doing separate things here. We're going to start to make movements within each limb. Now we're just going to do this in the right hand. But what we're going to do is, instead of that pattern being 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a, all in the right, what we're going to do is we're going to move each 8th note to the bell and keep the 16th notes on the right. So it's going to sound like this. So here is exercise 1 at 110 BPM, moving between the bell and the ride. And here's the same thing with exercise 2, which is 3-2-3. And of course, exercise number 3. So again, in the intermediate lesson, I talked about these anchor points where you see everything align. Now, in that last example, which was example 3, on beat 2, the bell and the backbeat align, which makes it nice and easy. And then on our last group of 3, with the kick, snare, snare, our cymbal aligns with that as well, the 16th notes on the cymbal, which also makes it easy. So these anchor points really do help you visualize where things are going to align, and then you see and feel when they do start to align. So another example I want to try is moving that right hand over to the hi-hat. So because the hi-hat is closing on every upbeat, on the and of every beat, when we play each quarter note, it's going to be open, and then it's going to be closed for those 2/16ths. So it's going to sound like this. So I'm going to play all the exercises cycling through them for 4 phrases at a time. So I'm going to do exercise 1 for 4, and then exercise 2, exercise 3, and back to 2. So that really gives it another texture, a totally different feel, and it really keeps you on your toes too. So the last thing I want to demonstrate here is just ramping up the tempo some more, so that when we go back onto the ride cymbal here, I'm just going to play all the right hand on the ride cymbal, and it's going to have a double time swing feel. So I'm going to play this at 140 BPM, which is pretty up tempo, and it should feel like a double time swing. So the right hand's just going to be on the ride cymbal, and then I'm just going to comp between my right foot and left hand. I'm going to keep it quite ghosted, no accents in there, just all a nice consistent level. Alright guys, so that wraps it up for this advanced lesson. That was some pretty up tempo for me. I had to work a bit to get it at that speed. So don't worry if you can't quite get to that tempo. Just start at whatever tempo you're comfortable with and gradually push that up over time. And that's it for this lesson. You can see we started with a simple concept, but by approaching it with a few different creative ways, we found multiple ways that we can use that simple exercise to challenge our coordination. And we've taken it a step further. Instead of just having 4 limbs now playing 4 different parts, we're making parts within a part. On the right hand, when we go from the bell to the ride cymbal, and from the open hi-hat to the closed hi-hat, that's really taken it up a notch. So that's some advanced stuff. And I encourage you guys to explore different ways. When you practice these simple exercises, just take it further and take it further again. Take the 5 minutes more to sit down and see how you can challenge yourself. Don't worry if you can't quite play at the tempos I demonstrated today. You can always just build that up over time. It's much more important to have a better understanding of the exercise and to make sure you know what's going on. So thanks for joining me in this lesson, guys. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.